Life and Living is made up of real-life stories from very real people, whose identities and circumstances have been concealed. These testimonies were shared in order to inspire others to seek prompt solutions to their fertility issues.
Life and Living series presents Taking Sides.
Oh, Mommy! Me, I'm hungry. Oh.
Junior, I'm coming.
Oh, Mommy, I am hungry.
Junior, I said I'm coming.
Oh, but why can't I eat the food Uncle Gochuku's wife cooked? Me, I'm hungry. Oh.
Junior, what are you doing? You want to kill me? Why are you eating food that was prepared by a witch?
Mommy, I am hungry.
Sister, why are you beating Junior for eating? The boy is hungry.
Who is your sister? Chidima? I am not your sister. First, you jinxed my brother by marrying him and not having children for him. Now you want to poison my son so that he will not be able to bear me grandchildren. Your plan will not work.
Sister, Chidima, what is going on here?
I can't take this anymore. Life wasn't always this bitter. On the contrary, it began on a very sweet lane. Ugo and I had met many years before, and ours seemed to be a match made in heaven. We loved each other and we were best friends. I still remember visiting Ugo's family house just before the wedding. Everyone was so sweet and welcoming.
Isn't that Ugochukwu and his wife? Thank God for Johnny Mercy.
Hey!
Uncle Gochuku and Auntie Chidima have come.
Hey, welcome, brother. How was your trip?
It was fine.
Welcome, my sister. I hope my brother is not stressing you.
Not at all. He's taking care of me.
Oh, welcome, my children.
Well done, Mama.
See my daughter. She's so fine. She's like yellow pawpaw.
When will you marry? This year? Next year? Sometime or never? How many children will you have? How many children will you have? How many children will you have?
Junior, come on, stop that.
Don't worry, let him sing on. Junior, don't worry. We will have many children so that you can come and play with them during your holidays.
Oh, God bless you, my daughter.
And that was how it all started. I was the jewel of Ugo's family. His mother loved me. His sisters adored me. Ugo and I got married a few months later and settled down into the routine of marriage. Of course, with the expectations.
Ugo, my son.
Mama.
Chidima, my daughter.
Yes, Mama.
It has been close to 1 year that you people married, and my back still remains cold. Do you want me to meet my ancestors without carrying my own grandchild?
Mama, you worry too much. We're just trying to adjust to being married. You know how living in the city is. Don't worry. We will give you many grandchildren.
Yes, Mama. And we will give you many, many, many grandchildren. Oh, yes.
Okay, if you say so. Let me go in and prepare something for you to eat.
Mama, let me help you.
Don't worry, Don't worry, my daughter. You need energy to bear my grandchildren. Just stay with your husband.
Ugo, I am getting scared.
I thought we had had this conversation before.
Yes, we had, but the matter is not going away. It seems like all they see about us now is a baby-making factory. No one wants to hear anything else. All your mother talks about is grandchildren.
Chidinma, you worry too much. At the right time, the babies will come.
Don't you think we need to see the doctor, Ugo?
You started again. I said we should wait and see what happens.
It's been a year, Ugo. I can't wait anymore. It's either we go to see the doctor or I won't ever follow you to go and see your people again, since they won't stop asking after children as if I'm the one that creates them.
Okay. We will see the doctor once we return.
That's better. Now let me go and help Mama before she thinks I don't have home training.
Choose wellness. Choose health and vitality. Know your numbers.
This is a corporate social responsibility message from Pathcare, Nigeria's foremost pathology laboratory.
And how long did you say you've been married?
1 year plus.
Okay. Madam, have you ever conceived before?
No, doctor.
Well, from the tests we've carried out, the results show that you have low sperm count, sir.
Low sperm count?
Yes.
Doctor, what does that mean?
Well, it means your husband's sperm may not be able to fertilize the eggs you produce.
Doctor, please speak the English that I can understand.
It means your chances of having children normally are slim.
Doctor, I don't understand.
Mr. Uchuku, I understand that this is quite disheartening news, but trust me, it's nothing unusual. Many couples have children these days through IVF.
Low sperm count. Me. The Iche one of Aruchuku. The cat whose back does not touch the ground. Chidima, let's go. Chidima, our flight takes off in 3 hours. Why haven't you packed your things?
La 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 la.
Chidima dear, how many times must I beg you to please cheer up? Children are a gift. Why should we be stressing ourselves?
Ugo,
huh?
Why are you punishing me this way? We've been married for 5 years now, and I don't have a child. And you expect me to go to your village to see your family members, and you think things will be easy for me?
I won't let them mistreat you. I promise.
That was how you said last year. Yes, they didn't buy me any wrapper. Didn't you see how Mama didn't answer me each time I greeted her? Only God knows what awaits me this year.
Who knows? Maybe this year you'll conceive during the new moon and our story will change forever.
You think this is funny, Ugo? Ugo, don't you think we should get more medical help? I have been reading on low sperm count, and I hear there are other alternative solutions.
Chidima, are you trying to change what nature has put in place? I am the cat whose back does not touch the ground. Don't worry, just pack your things so we won't be late for our flight.
Ugo, protect me,
I promise to. If you don't miss our flight, which takes off in 2 hours and 59 minutes, let's go.
I don't understand why he has kept her up till now.
I have told him. If his father was still alive, he would have brought another wife for him by now. Hell, my back is getting cold.
Why are you people talking as if I'm not sitting right here beside you?
It is because you behave as if we don't exist too.
Oh.
After 5 years of marriage, you go, nothing to show. Yet, you still keep this woman. Oh, of what use is she to us?
You people should just leave me alone.
Hey! Go on, defend her again. Isn't that what you have been doing for 5 years? Ugo, 5 years, defending her barrenness.
I tire.
Hey, or has she bewitched you?
Mama! Why are you talking like this?
It's alright.
Look who is bringing food. I hope the witch has not poisoned the food.
Good afternoon, Mama. Lunch is served. I prepared fufu and oha just the way you would like it. Mama, shall I serve yours now? Mama, hope no problem.
Ugo, we will see you later. Let us know when we can talk heart to heart. Let us go.
Ugo, I warned you about this.
Or won't you eat too?
Chidima, not now. You won't understand.
Ugo, you too? Oh. So you won't eat my food, Ugo? You've joined them.
You won't understand, Chidima.
Junior, didn't I tell you not to touch that food? You want to eat the food a witch prepared. I will show you today.
That was my worst Christmas holiday ever. By the time we returned home, my husband finally agreed to get help at the best fertility clinic available in Nigeria. All we needed was a procedure called ICSI. And by the next Christmas, I was as round as a ball. I finally returned to being the jewel of Ugo's family, bearing more sons and daughters, for the cat whose back was never to touch the ground.
Choose wellness. Choose health and vitality. Know your numbers.
This is a corporate social responsibility message from Pathcare, Nigeria's foremost pathology laboratory.
Good evening and welcome once again to Life and Living, brought to you by Doctors on Air. I'm Dr. Pamela, and with me in the studio is Nigeria's foremost fertility specialist, Dr. Richard Ajayi of the Bridge Clinic. Dr. Ajayi, in this particular case, it seems very unfair that Chidima, in spite of all her care and love, was made to suffer for apparently what seems to be a problem of the male partner, and to suffer in such a great way. Why is this?
Thank you very much. I think it's a usual situation because the expectation is for the woman to get pregnant. And if she doesn't get pregnant, then the obvious conclusion is she can't get pregnant. Whereas in this case, it's not that she couldn't get pregnant, it was that her husband could not get her pregnant. And men don't get pregnant, so the blame is usually on the woman. It's the nature of male infertility because it's hidden. And for the man, even if he has a problem, he really wouldn't know unless he does a sperm test. So most men assume that once they can get an erection and actually have intercourse to orgasm, that they don't have a problem. So it's always a shock to the gentleman when he does a sperm test and he realizes that there's a problem, because it's not something that is obvious. That is the nature of infertility in the man.
Talking about male infertility and obviously called low sperm count, is it that the men are born like this, or how does the problem actually evolve? What is the cause of it?
Well, there are many causes of male infertility. I'll use that term. Yes, some men are born with problems where the testes don't work. Some men are born with testes that don't descend into the scrotum. But in the vast majority of gentlemen, the problem is acquired. The thing about male infertility is that the manifestation is in a low sperm count when you do a sperm test. But for most men, unfortunately, we never really find the cause. So we don't really know what the problem is beyond the fact that they have a low sperm count.
Now, a lot of things have been said to cause low sperm count. One of them is an infection called staph.
Well, I think that is an interesting concept that we get, particularly here in Nigeria. I get a lot of gentlemen coming to the clinic saying that they have staphylococcus infection. I would like to use this opportunity to inform our listeners that this is a myth. Staphylococcus aureus is an organism that normally lives on the skin. It lives in hidden parts, such as on the penis. And so when you do a sperm test, because the bug lives on the penis, it is common to contaminate the semen. And so you would always get a culture of Staphylococcus. The fact that you get a culture of Staphylococcus does not mean it is causing a problem. So gentlemen, please, staph does not cause infertility.
Well, that's very interesting. But what about this issue of some men who have low sperm count and can't get pregnant with their wives having children outside? How does that work?
Well, when we say man has a low sperm count, maybe I should get a little bit technical.
Yes.
The cutoff for normal is 20 million. So your sperm count is low when you have lower than 20 million, and it's normal when it is more than 20 million. But for some, all you need at the end of the day is one sperm. So there's some gentlemen, of course, where you have what we call regression around the mean, where the sperm count goes up and down. So if you're recorded to have a low sperm count today, tomorrow your sperm count could actually be normal. Okay. Now, if you now at that time meet a woman who's perhaps younger than your wife and who's more fertile, then she has a higher chance of getting pregnant. So you get a situation where a couple are having difficulties, but the gentleman maybe has a younger girl outside who gets pregnant. And this is not an unusual situation.
How is it diagnosed?
Well, the diagnosis, as I said, is, the gentleman is asked to produce a semen sample, preferably by masturbation. And this is looked at under the microscope. And there are different parameters that we look at. We look at things like what we call the density, which is the sperm count. You need more than 20 million. We look at the motility, which is the percentage that is moving properly. And we like that to be more than 50%. And we look at the percentage that is absolutely normal. And that should be about 15%. The other thing about the sperm count, of course, is that you can't just go to any laboratory. There are a lot of people that project themselves that they can give you a semen result. But it is important that you go to a good laboratory using a phase contrast microscopy and has the expertise for the reference ranges. And a good laboratory like Pathcare, I think, should be recommended.
Now, when the diagnosis is made, once a man was diagnosed with low sperm count, is there anything else that he can do to try and bring it up?
Like I said earlier, sperm count goes up and down. And so the diagnosis is not absolute because, I tend not to consider it a problem unless they've been trying to achieve a pregnancy for more than 3 years. Because we know that the count goes up and down. And so I expect couples, especially where the woman does not have fertility issues and she's young, to achieve a pregnancy by themselves within 3 years.
So it'll just take a little bit longer.
It'll take a bit longer, yes. We normally say that the average couple have a 25% chance of getting pregnant every month, but where there's a low sperm count, it drops to about 5%, and this 5% tends to zero after about 3 years. So it's unless if the count is very low, less than 1 million, or they have azoospermia where there are no sperm cells, then you can take it as a problem that needs intervention immediately. But if it's a young couple with a borderline semen result, and the woman is young without fertility issues, they can be advised just to keep trying for up to another 3 years.
And what is the treatment for couples who've tried longer than 3 years and haven't been successful?
Well, if they've tried for more than 3 years without any success, it doesn't rule the fact that they can still achieve a pregnancy. You get some couples that don't have a baby for 11 years and then suddenly, bang, the woman gets pregnant.
It happens. Yes.
Yeah, that happens. But I think after 3 years, you're now waiting for something that may not occur. The treatment then is IVF with ICSI.
What is ICSI?
Well, ICSI stands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection. This is necessary because we don't really have any tablets or injections that increase the chances of pregnancy in the wife of a man with a low sperm count. Yes. There are a lot of tablets we use. The list is endless. Proviron, Sostanon. I guess I'm not allowed to say this on radio.
No, you're not supposed to.
Apologies. Various injections are used, but none of them have been scientifically shown to work. So after 3 years, we go for IVF. And with IVF, we stimulate the woman to produce more than the normal one egg, between 6 and 10 eggs. We collect these eggs, and in the laboratory, we have the technology to take an individual sperm and inject it directly into the egg to to affect fertilization.
Now, these sperm, they're very small. What are the size of these eggs and sperm?
Well, I mean, the technology we use with ICSI is that we have very powerful microscopes and transducers that transduce gross arm movements to micro movement at the cellular level. The needles we use to inject is about 10 microns, which is about the 10th of the diameter of a human hair. So that allows us to pick up the sperm and inject it directly into the egg without damaging the egg and with good fertilization rate. And once you get fertilization, you now culture this in the incubator for up to 5 days and then transfer. There's an extension on the ICSI process that we now carry out, and this is called IMSI. What IMSI means is that we're using microscopes that are much more powerful than you would use in ordinary ICSI to select the sperm that you inject. Because with with the IMSI you can see what we call vacuolation, which is if you like damaged sperm. So IMSI allows you to pick up better sperm, which improves fertilization rate and blastocyst formation rates.
That's very interesting. So, would you recommend ICSI for all cases of low sperm count?
Well, I think if they've been trying for more than 3 years, I definitely would. Like I said, the indications there are relative before 3 years, and I think it's tending to absolute after 3 years. Because if they're going to achieve a pregnancy, then they will by themselves. There's an interesting study that was carried out in New York, where they did sperm tests on men coming out of a maternity hospital. These are men who have had children, and they found that half the men had low sperm counts. So they found out half the men had low sperm counts. Now, this is important because what it means is that the fact that you have a low sperm count does not mean that you are infertile. So the definition of low sperm count and male infertility is relative. And you have to look at it because the condition is expressed through the woman. So it's important to look at the woman's factors as well before you make that definition.
So you could say it's actually a couple problem.
Infertility is always a couple problem. It's absolutely important that we never ascribe blame because you can't say the man is at fault or the woman is at fault. Because, there are cases where the man has absolutely normal sperm. The woman, maybe hormone results are not very normal, in which case, but then they switch partners and they both get pregnant. So infertility is peculiar to a particular couple.
Are there any things that the man can do, such as living a healthier lifestyle or whatever, to actually improve his chances during the 3 years in which he and his wife are trying for a child?
Well, I mean, lifestyle changes, which have been shown to be important. Smoking, for example, we know increases oxidative stress to sperm, and that damages the sperm count. It's also important to look at general vitality issues. The man really needs to be healthy. He needs to eat a balanced diet. He needs to consume alcohol to moderation. And he needs to just, be healthy. And all these factors improve the chances of having a normal pregnancy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ajayi, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Till I come your way again next week, remember that ultimately life comes from God, but it is your responsibility to make sure you have knowledge. You can like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/DOA Life and Living or follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/DOA Life and Living. If you'd like to get in touch with the doctor, you can send an email to doctor, which is DOCTOR, at thebridgeclinic.com or text fertility to 20050. Thank you and stay tuned at the same time on the same station next week.
Choose wellness. Choose health and vitality. Know your numbers.
This is a corporate social responsibility message from Pathcare, Nigeria's foremost pathology laboratory.
Next on Life and Living.
What kind of disgrace have you brought upon our family? You've been carrying this pregnancy for over 2 years now and are not showing any sign that you will deliver soon.
I sense a strong force around this place, yo.
You must be delivered today.
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 Fire.
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 Zanzibar.
Life and living. Life and living. Life and living. Life and living. Oh, life and living. 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 Life and living.
Life and Living series is produced by Verdant Zeal for Doctors on Air.